So we're going to say approximately, since we were rounding, approximately 8.2 millimeters is saved each time the hypotenuse is used. Okay, then our other example or other application is, again, going back to gravity. We're going to throw something off of a building. This time we're going to throw it upward. So we throw an object upward. Eventually gravity takes it back downward. And here are the basics of what we know. We're at the top of a 200-foot cliff. And we toss the object upwards at 12 feet per second. And we know the rate at which gravity pulls it back down. The acceleration is 16 feet per second per second. So they tell us that the height of the object is going to be -16 times t squared. So that's our pull down due to gravity, plus 12 times t. We threw it upwards at 12 feet per second. And we didn't start at 0 feet, we started at 200 feet. And we want to know, when will the object be 100 feet off the ground? "100 feet is a height." We plug in the height. 100 is -16 times t squared plus 12 times t plus 200. If they wanted to know when it hit the ground, if it hit the ground, its height would be 0 instead of 100. Just depends on the problem, what they're asking. Doesn't look like it's quadratic quite yet. My apologies, it is quadratic. It's not set to 0 quite yet. So let's add 16t squared to both sides. We'll subtract 12t on both sides. And we'll subtract 200 on both sides. So 16t squared minus 12 times t. 100 minus 200 is minus 100. It's equal to 0. And again, if you spot a common factor, make the problem easier on yourself and take care of that. All of these are multiples of 4. Let's factor of 4 and divide by 4 on both sides. So 4t squared minus 3t minus 25 is equal to 0. Transfer that. Okay, so we have 4t squared minus 3t minus 25 is equal to 0. So after that, quadratic formula. A is 4, B is -3, C is -25. So instead of an x equals, this time it's a t equals. Opposite of -3, positive 3. Plus or minus square root of -3 times -3, 9. Minus 4 from the formula times a is 4 times c is -25. All over 2 times 4. So t is 3 plus or minus square root of 9 plus. And then we have 16 quarters, so that is $4. So 400 all over 8. So t is 3 plus or minus square root of 409 all over 8. Now again, 409 definitely bigger than square root of 9, which would be 3. And 3 minus 3 would take us to 0. 3 minus anything more than that takes us into negative territory. It wouldn't make sense for the object to be at 100 feet after a negative amount of time. That would mean before we let go of it, before we threw it, it had a certain height. So again, because it's a word problem, we'll keep the plus guy only. And because it's a word problem, we can also throw in an approximation there. So 3 plus square root of 409. Go ahead and hit enter after that and then divide by 8. Otherwise, you're going to confuse the calculator. So t is approximately 2.9 seconds. After 2.9 seconds, the object is at 100 feet. Okay, so some homework problems to try out from section 11.2. And let's see, 11.2, 1 through 11 odd, 19 to 33 odd, 41 to 51 odd, 55, and 63 should give you plenty of practice. So if you have any questions, get in touch with me. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.